morning. Well, the weekend is upon us, and I decided to tackle another little project. My wife is out on one of her weekend girl excursions, so we slipped down to the metal store and got a couple sheets of 11 gauge steel that we're going to make our part soaker out of. One sheet, hopefully one sheet will be for the part soaker, and then another sheet's going to be for sort of like a hot water wash down area. So they built a new table at work that catches some drippings from a lubricant that we use to install windshields. And I really like the looks of it. I said, man, that would be great to, after you take the parts out of the parts soaker, to put it over there and wash it down. So put hot water on it and wash it down. And I said, man, that would be great. Well, since my wife's gone, I just, went down there, got the metal, and hopefully have it built before she gets back. Probably won't happen, but, she won't see me coming in with this truckload of metal anyway. Not that she would care. Not that she would care. But today's plans, or this weekend's plans, I should say, I'm going to put the taper attachment back. I'm sorry, the tapered gib back into the compound. We're going to clean this table off because this is where we do welding and stuff. It has a metal top on it. We're going to move everything into the woodworking shop that's on this table. I got to clean that table off back there. My nephew's been building some honeydew stuff for his wife, and so I'm going to clean that off and move all this stuff back there and cover it, and then we'll be able to work this stuff. We're going to cut all this stuff up and tack it together today, hopefully. And my brother said he would come and weld it, so he's a professional welder. He's an instructor at the local community college. Matter of fact, he's out instructing a class today, so he's not here. But he's off tomorrow, so I kind of got his expertise coming tomorrow. So I'm going to cut everything up, and I was contemplating whether to build the frame of it out of wood or out of metal, and I think I'm going to do it out of wood first, if for no other reason than it's less expensive for one thing. And the metal shop was closing down, and when I showed up, their hour said 5:30, but I didn't know that they had an unwritten rule on Fridays. They leave at 5 if they can. Well, guess who showed up at 10 minutes to 5 yesterday? Anyway, they weren't happy, and I don't blame them. I'd be upset too. So I just got my 2 sheets and I ran. So I think I'm going to build the frame here out of wood to begin with. I want to talk to my brother. I want to put some kind of lifting device made onto it, probably something like a gib crane. Not nothing heavy, just something that you can move it from the table that it's at, which is like 3 feet away, into the parts washer. We're going to make an expanded metal basket also that'll fit down into the main part of the basket. And I want that to be able to be lifted out fairly easily. So if you have heavy stuff like that gear case or the apron, you can just put it in there. I don't mind taking it apart while it's all dirty, but if it's clean, I would just rather have it clean. And like I said, I plan on getting other machines, and we're definitely going to need it. So this soaker thing's not going to be small. It's going to be 20 inches deep, 30 inches depth. 20 inches high, 30 inch depth by 48 inches long. So, a couple 100 gallons of stuff in it probably. Not count, when you displace the stuff that's in it. So, but I watched some videos on YouTube of people that built stuff that had filter systems built and stuff like that. So, we'll probably incorporate some of that stuff. I'm probably going to weld some bungs on there for some heater elements and stuff like that. Might not use it, but we're going to go ahead and put that stuff on there. Let's see, what else? I think that's it. I got a fresh cup of coffee, and I bought this. I use a DSLR camera. It's, I don't use a GoPro, so taking time lapses takes a little more effort. But I got this timer that I'm going to try. I think I'm just going to set it up, and while we're working in here, we're just going to do some, just a real quick time lapse. We'll see how it works. I don't know. We'll see. Never done it before, so if it works, you'll see it. If it doesn't, you won't. So anyway, that's our plans for this weekend. So wife's gone, husband's going to play in the shop. We'll be back. Well, I think that went pretty good. Got everything cleaned up, got all the metal cut, which I didn't think was going to happen. I tried first using a disc cutter on my angle grinder, and that would have worked. I'd have spent a lot of time straightening up cuts and all that. And then I remembered I had a 7.5-inch metal cutting saw blade that I used on a modified chop saw in the back where I used to cut metal. It has a Lennox blade, a Lennox metal cutting blade. And I said, shoot, I wonder if it'll work in a skill saw. Why not? Well, it works in a skill saw. It didn't take an hour to cut it all up. It surprised me. I cut it just like I would any plywood. Measured the difference between the blade and the outside of the fence on the bottom of the skill saw, and then clamped a straight edge and just cut it like that. I don't think it was any louder than normal skill saw cutting plywood. Heavier, but not any louder. So all the pieces are cut now. So I ran into, I don't want to say a problem. I don't know whether I want to, if I want to make an L-shaped in the corner, or just make it down either the front wall of the shop or make it down the side wall where the sandblaster's at. So I don't know. So like I said, my brother's teaching class today, so he's not available, but he is tomorrow. So I think if we don't get anything welded, at least we'll get a plan laid out. So my plans, I don't even know what time it is. I got out here probably about 9:30 or 10 this morning, and it's 1 o'clock. So we're going to get something to eat because my belly tells me it needs something in it. And we're going to run to Lowe's and pick up a bunch of 2x6s. I think I'm just going to make the frame out of 2x6. And I still need to talk to him how I want to do this gib crane or some kind of something in the corner. Might not use the 2x6s at all. Might end up making it all out of metal if he prefers to do it that way. My idea was to bolt something into the corner. I only needed to lift 250, 300 pounds. I don't need it any more than that, but it'd be nice to be able to lift it. You can slide stuff around on this metal table easily. Most of your parts are going to be broke down, or you can, I'll use the Rubbermaid dolly, which I'm pointing to out of camera, use a Rubbermaid dolly and roll it over there to it. So, if we're going to, I doubt it would have to go out 5 feet, maybe 6 feet, and then just swing around into the tubs. If we do it in the corner, then it would just go have the parts washer on one corner and then the wash down on the other corner, and then the gib crane right in the corner of that. So if we do that, I don't see the combination of being bolted to the concrete floor and then bolted into the corner of the concrete block, which is reinforced and poured solid in those corners because I know who built this shop. And then I just don't see how it can go anywhere. And knowing me, I'll probably do something up in the roof and just tie all the trusses and the corner plates together, whether either laminated plywood, where you take sheets of plywood and you put one piece down and you glue it and you screw it, and then another piece, probably do 2 1/4, you know, whatever it makes, 2.5 inches, so a few pieces of 3/4 plywood like that. And then you make it the size in between the trusses, and then it's bolted down to the top plate also, and it won't go anywhere. So I just have to work out and see, you know, if my brother thinks that's a good idea or if we should do something different, you know. You know, everybody always says, you know, you need an engine hoist. Just get you an engine hoist. Well, that's just one more thing I got to roll around the shop and get out of the way. Anybody who has a shop knows you never have enough room. And I'm constantly moving stuff. You know, I park my truck in here too. So, you know, which will probably end up changing you know, a few more machines, and it's not going to fit. So that's my plans now. I'm going to go eat. I'm going to run to Lowe's and come back. If I have time to do some more stuff, then we'll be back. If not, then we'll be back tomorrow. So either way. All right, good morning. Well, didn't get anything else done yesterday, but we did this morning. It's probably about, I don't know, 10 o'clock or so. Brother's here to weld. We worked out a plan on how we're going to get all this stuff together, how we're going to mount it on the, or the supports for it. We are going to build it out of wood. Got a basic idea how we want to do that gib crane.
Roger that.
So I'm going to draw that up and we'll get it figured out more or less.
Yeah.
And then we're just going to do a bunch of welding today. So I looked at the time lapse that I did yesterday. It looks pretty good.
Looks good.
Today I think we're going to do the same thing. So there's not going to be a lot of talking. There might be some yelling and cussing when some hot sparks hit our shoes or something like that, because somebody didn't put their steel toes on. So
Proper PPE.
yeah. So we're going to wear out the Hobart today and get some stuff welded up. So I think that'll do it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Let's get her done.
We got a full cup of coffee and no wives around, which mine ought to show up anytime. But yeah, let's get her done. All right. See ya. All right, I think we got it. Mike spent the better part of his day stuck in them tubs right there welding. So, but everything's welded. I think we got it where we wanted. The only thing we have left to do is make the drain parts for it, which is going to be like a 10-inch drop down in this one and probably a 5 by, I don't know, 10 or so in that one, so we can put some filter material in there so we can keep all the crud inside when we drain these things back into the holding tanks. So, but it looks good.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Anytime.
Yep. So I reckon that's going to be it for today. So hopefully, let's see, what can we do next time? Oh, we'll put the drains and stuff in it, get some expanded metal in the bottom of this one, get a basket made for this. There's a lot to do yet. Yeah. So many more projects on this to come. But, you know, one step at a time.
Baby steps.
Baby steps, yep. All right. Next time, see ya.
Have a good.
Yeehaw. Oh.